Alright everybody, welcome to HGR live on a Saturday night. As right now, I know we're tuning in a little bit early into practice, but something that me and the promoters wanted to try, as we're about to get a look on some action. And right now, there you see a little bit of cars working together. Garrett Casewell has really shown up here to be a factor. As far as I'm concerned, a new face to the Raging Idiot Racing Network. Making his debut, Luke Freeman. Joshua McCullough, he is the new face here. Casewell now goes not top of the board, but down towards the bottom, trying to get up to speed. You look at the 05 of Michael Coral. Try to get a word with him, see how to pronounce. Well, I'll go ahead and say publicly now, I apologize to anybody if I mispronounce your name. One of my weak points. But still, they ain't gonna stop. They ain't gonna stop the Raging Idiot Racing Network from producing some of the great races here. You see a little bit of a pit party has just happened prior to going live here. 16 minutes to go in practice, a little bit of group racing. This is what you're going to see a lot of. Notice the driver at the bottom in that number 8. That is Steve Sizemore. He has led. He's been one of the two who has led the most laps last week, but has not been able to really get the job done. Another one is Sean Corbett, who we hope joins later tonight. But Garrett Casewell on that bottom lane, he has alluded to before. He actually alluded to on Friday night's broadcast how he feel like some of these small mistakes he's been making has kept him away. And of course, the results from the last time we were live on the Raging Idiot Racing Network, as a few drivers making a pit stop. You see the 5 of Freeman honestly has made a mistake that honestly we saw last week as well. Sizemore coming in. We'll turn back into Casewell for a moment as he comes to a stop. But Garrett Casewell finished third as he goes for a little bit of a spin. But Casewell finished third Friday night. And the results for that is John Ward ended up winning the race on Friday night. See a few drivers, see getting lined up for another pit party, and I'll see if I can actually get a hold of the driver of the number 92. John Ward, Garrett Jenkins in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Yeah, I know if I confused you there, dragging you through. Well, buddy, last time we saw you in the Raging Idiot Racing Network, you ended up winning the thing finally after finishing third 2 or 3 times in the last few broadcasts. What's the plan tonight? Can you potentially go up there for a two-peat, or what's the mentality after winning the last time we were live?
Well, I guess the mentality of every race is to come in and try to have a good race. But I'm going to try to qualify up towards the front and maybe, try to stay. Usually I sit in the back most of the time, but I'm going to try to stay in the front and see if I can just keep things going up there and pit with the front guys this time instead of doing it from the back.
All right, buddy. Do you expect right now, just because 8 guys have posted a qualifying time or a lap, I know there's more than 8 in here, but with the bigger size, how important do you think qualifying is actually mattering in these races? We have some guys, they lay in the back, and then we got some guys who go up to the front. Which do you think is more important, or where's the best place to be other than the front?
If not in the front, that's obviously the safest. But yeah, I mean, these races are usually 2 pit stop races, and you can hang out in the back as long as you have a good pit stop and you got somebody to draft with and keep up. you're in good shape there. As long as you don't pit by yourself and you can get in and off pit road without any mistakes, you'll have a really good race.
All right, buddy. Well, we might pull you down depending if you get the pole or where you start at. We might pull you up here before qualifying, but we'll let you get this little pit party thing underway here.
You got it.
Which one were you in? Race chatter or one or two?
You put me in team one.
Team one, all right. All right, John Ward looks to go 2 in a row. Seeing now, of course, this is the prelude to what's to come tonight. Drivers already getting their apprentice underway. Aubrey Thompson is back after a little bit of a period away. Of course, Aubrey has won a race here on the Raging Idiot Racing Network broadcast. As right now, James Waring, no stranger to being at the front, but Waring coming off of a little bit of a bad race deal. Last 2 or 3 races has not gone the way he wanted, as a lot of drivers in racing. But Waring looks to try to change up Waring looks to change the look around. Right now, sitting 8th at a 52.64. And right now, Kevin Tipton holds the fastest lap at a 50.989. You see Casey Sprinkles is back after not being on the last broadcast. And they're already wrecking. Steve Sizemore, one of them. Sizemore in the wall. Justin Johnson, Joey Allen gets a piece of it. See a few more drivers, so pretty much the drivers whose names is in gold. I got to manually update the driver style, so just know the ones who are in gold, they've just posted a lap. See, for a great example, McLean went at a 109.60. Casey Sprinkles, of course, will be one to look at tonight, as he always is. And we look to try to get some more looks. Just talking about him. Just talk to him. John Ward goes to the top of the board. Thompson with him. So with 10 minutes and 45 seconds, there's the man who, the last time we were on the Raging Idiot Racing Network, ended up leading a lot of laps, but was one of them like James Waring, who was not able to be able to pull off the victory. Sean Corbett. We will look to actually try to get a word with him if we can. And Corbett actually going to come into pits, practice green flag pit stops. Going to be crucial in the race tonight. Meanwhile, we'll tune back in a little bit of action. There's the 58. That is McLean. Or McLean. I apologize. Right now, Freeman now taking control. One thing that's going to be interesting to look at, the high line and how dominant it is coming down the back straightaway. You'll see it a lot the more you look at the HGR broadcast. Is it really anywhere? It's a little bit of a bad push, a little bit of a bad block. They're able to keep it straight. But yeah, so during the race, the outside lane really going to be one of them lanes to watch. Down the back straightaway in particular, just because of the run they can get. See, 58 goes 11th quickest now. Joey Allen's posted a lap, but it drops into a minute 3:76. That's 14th quickest right now, the slowest. But probably because there is no draft. Of course, you see people like Casey Sprinkles. You know, normally you'll see Sprinkles at the front during qualifying. So, oh, they're getting tired. The other five into the wall hard. Waring involved in it. Better to go ahead and wreck now and get it out the way than to wreck later. And there, as you see, the wreck remains of James Waring. Sean Corbett just talked about him, goes 11th quickest. We'll see if we can't pull into James Ware. James Ware and Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
What's going on, Garrett?
Well, buddy, unfortunately, we caught that wreck on the camera right as I was just talking good about you.
Get it out of my system.
Yeah, that's what I just said. A little bit to talk about tonight, obviously. It already looked like a much bigger field compared to Friday night, but I want to ask you, the last couple of races, last few races, all last week seemed to be real trouble field for you. How do you go about tonight trying to change that luck around from last week?
Well, last night I raced in the Danny Barnes benefit race on Dega Pros and got a third place out of it. So, managed to stay out of trouble, and I think that's going to be the goal, is staying out of trouble. And if I can stay out of trouble, I can put this 13 back up at the front like I normally do, and hopefully we can keep it up there.
All right, buddy. My second question is, the last few nights that I've ran the broadcast, especially with the trucks, the outside lane really seems to get a great run down the straightaway. For some of the new viewers that will be tuning in tonight or be looking at this whenever they set their DVRs or whatnot, they're going to be wondering, well, how come the outside lane proves to be so strong off of 2 and sometimes off of 4?
Well, when you're running the high lines, you're able to carry a little bit more momentum than running the inside line. Even though the inside's shorter, you can carry more momentum on the outside. So you get 2 or 3 trucks pushing that know how to push on that outside line, and they can pretty much drive right around the field.
All right, buddy. Hopefully we'll be talking to you during the race, or hopefully not walking out the Care Center. But real quick, anybody want to say hey to shout out some sponsors real quick before tonight?
First, our hearts and prayers are with Danny and his family, what they're going through. I want to thank Jimmy Crow for putting this race on, and let's see what we can do out here tonight.
All right, buddy. As we look at the action, the 88 goes around in tri-oval. James Warren, best of luck to you tonight, buddy. Hope to see the luck turns around.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Because right now, Casey Sprinkle goes top of the board at a 49.8. No surprise there. Nice Audrey Thompson off in the top spot. And we do not normally run this overlay. We only run it during practice and qualifying. Just because, you know, you can see where your favorite driver's running during qualifying instead of waiting for the horizontal overlay to upload and all that. You see Sprinkles gets stuck behind the 58. Right now, a little small pack. Steve Sizemore in the house tonight after a dominant last week, but however, just really unable to put the win together as he just jumped stuck the 4th quickest on the board. We'll see if we can talk to him. We'll see if we can't get a couple of new drivers that are joining. As you look down the back straightaway now, Jackson buys in the 88. He makes his return tonight. The 88. Drivers in the lobby but have not made a lap yet. Richard Elliott after a great run Friday night. William H. Scott Jr. Ambrose Kniebel. Danny Barnes in the booth. Does not post a lap yet, but Danny Barnes is here tonight. Michael Wingo and Larry McDonald have not posted a lap yet. So right now, as we wait, we'll see if we can't get a word with Steve Sizemore. Let me be sure he isn't on track before. Okay, he is not. So we're going to try to get a quick word with him before he rolls back out. Steve Sizemore, Garrett Jenkins in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, buddy, you proved all last week that you had a truck that can win the race. You led the most laps a few nights, you and Sean Corbett, especially Friday night. and just hasn't been able to come together. Do you think tonight's the night it can't come together?
Just gotta not make any mistakes on pit road and no mistakes on the racetrack. I just thought I was clear last week and they never took out the whole field, so I can't make mistakes like that. That's for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, I've been running good.
yeah,
Just
buddy.
got to
Go ahead.
keep going after it.
Yeah, we saw that wild wreck last night to end the show, and really does last week. Of course, everybody knows you showed up last week, but does it add a little bit of pressure this week, or is it just business as usual?
It's as usual for me. You know, just I like being up front, getting some laps up front and learning. You know, just part of it.
All right.
But yeah, I'm excited to have a good race tonight. I think I'll be up front again.
All right, buddy. Well, hopefully we can talk to you at the end of this thing whenever you sit in victory lane, but you got to go through drivers like Casey Sprinkles, Aubrey Thompson, John Ward. It's a star-studded field tonight. Best of luck to you, buddy.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Right now, 2 minutes to go, as you just heard from Steve Sizemore. You see right here's a little bit of three-wide action. Practicing it, John Ward, Audrey Thompson on the top lane. You see James Waring and Michael Buys on the bottom, and now some green flag pit stop. Sprinkles was hooked up with the 58. Sprinkles now. A lot of drivers practicing on pit road and some making in. Several black flags, but I guess they're trying to get their brake bias straight, as last week had a whole bunch of incidents on pit road. It was a pit road nightmare for several drivers. See if we can get a word with. I'm believing this is Kevin Tipton. I'm about to find out. Kevin Tipton, right?
Yes, sir. How we doing?
We're doing great. This is Gary Jenkins up in the booth. I want to be sure I had the right man, and please tell me if I didn't pronounce your last
Absolutely.
name.
You got me.
And please tell me if I pronounced your last name wrong so I can correct that.
It's perfect.
All right, buddy. Well, Kevin right now sitting fifth on the board with a 50.33. Tell me, how does the truck feel tonight? How is really the draft affecting these trucks and how they handle?
Yeah, I mean it feels pretty good. I got my two teammates out here. We've just been trying to work together, try to get that little three-man draft going, and it seems like it's been working pretty good. A couple checkups when we were in the bigger pack, but all in all, the truck feels pretty good.
Oh yes, sir. I mean, it looks great. I mean, it goes up fifth on the board. What are you looking to get out of tonight? Obviously, money on the line, but is there any goals that you have planned for tonight?
Yeah, it's my first race out here with the high gear, so I'm really just trying to get at least one of our team members up there in the money. Just have a good night and hopefully finish on the lead lap.
All right, buddy. Well, best of luck to you. We look forward to seeing. I'll let you go because qualifying's about to start here.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
Ain't no problem. So right now, practice concluded. And I appreciate somebody telling me I was quiet. Hopefully I fixed the problem. I'm about to check one more thing though. So a lot of drivers in the field tonight. Only get one lap. Look at the 05 of Michael. On through the field. Steve Sizemore, he's already taken the track. Appeared that Sizemore will actually post the first qualifying lap here. A few other drivers making their way out. Qualifying tends to be important here. Going back to the field while wait for drivers to post their first lap. There's Garrett Caswell. The 17 looks to go up, break the third place finish streak. As the last three broadcasts, that's where he has finished. Sean Corbett begin to roll. Michael Wingo, one of them rolling. Right now, you look at Steve Sizemore, should post the first lap to beat the 05 of Michael Carroll. Should be right behind him. The 88 then of Jackson Byes, top of the board. We'll see who gets it first. Sizemore. Right now you look at Michael Wingo as more drivers are just going to start posting their first laps. Kevin Tempton and John Ward, third and fourth. See the pylon starting to update a little bit more. Richard Elliott goes P2 after having a great run Friday night. Still pretty quiet, huh? So right now, oh, wait a second. Right now you're right with the 25 on Wingo. And of course 25 will go P14 for a moment. Casey Sprinkles looks to post his first qualifying lap. And he does, top of the board. Right now, 16 drivers have completed their first laps, about 5 more looking to try. Aubrey Thompson is going to attempt to beat the Thompson. Now you're right on board with Aubrey Thompson at the line. Does he take the top spot? Does not. Fourth quickest. With that being said, where the broadcast is still a little quiet, just let me know. Not really understanding why it's being quiet tonight. But nonetheless, and qualifying has concluded. Casey Sprinkle once again on the pole. We'll get a word winning real fast. Casey Sprinkles, you got a copy?
Yes, man.
Huh?
Yes, man.
Oh, yes, man. That's what I thought you said. Well, buddy, no surprise. Once again, top of the board. Seems to become a habit every time you're in the field and I go on the air that you're starting on the pole or second. So tell me about tonight. Business as usual. We know you're a threat. You know you ain't scared to jump up there and pull a line. Does tonight bring a little bit of caution, though, with jumping up to see which line goes where?
Probably, yeah, more than the other times. I plan on just staying up front, and I'm gonna be more careful doing that, though, yeah. But probably. I want to hope to make it the green flag pit stop. It's a longer race, too.
Yeah, we see that a lot of times, and of course we saw all throughout practice drivers struggling on their green flag pit stops and their runs and all that during practice. Is it just how difficult it is to really just get on pit road with these trucks, or what's really going through a lot of drivers' mind trying to pit on one big pack?
I don't think the problem is the actual brakes themselves. It's just people trying to pit with the big group. I think that is what the issue is. Is like more some people are braking early, some people are braking late. The people who are braking late that are in the back are gonna like run in the back of people. So if we can have like only two splits of pit stops, maybe that will happen. I hope. It seems like everyone's been practicing really good though. The people who are have messed up. So hopefully we can get a good green, at least one good green flag pit stop. Looks like we're gonna have probably three. We got 17 laps of fuel, I think. So.
Well, buddy, best of luck to you. Hope to see you at the end of this thing.
Thank you.
Yep. He already jumped out just like that. So that was your. So that was Casey Sprinkle starting on pole. Steve Sidemore to his outside. We'll go through the starting grid for tonight's race at Talladega. Casey Sprinkle's on the pole, Steve Sizemore second, Richard Elliott third, Aubrey Thompson fourth, Scott McLean rounds out the top five. Jackson Byes, John Ward, Sean Corbett. That is the 7th and 8th spot. I'm going to try to pronounce this right. Joshua McCullough starting 9th, Jays Waring 10th, Kevin Timpton and Garrett Caswell. That is the fast 12. On down through the field, Larry or Danny Barnes starting 13th, Michael Correll in 14th, Larry McDonald, Luke Freeman 15th, 16th, Michael Wingo, Justin Johnson, Joey Allen, and Ambrose Kniebel, and William H. Scott Jr. And that is actually the field. That was real quick. So, one to go here. Driver's probably thinking it's 50 laps tonight, a little bit longer than what a normal HGR race goes. They do vary sometimes from 40 to 50. 50 is the longest I've seen. And whenever they get going here, it's really just going to be on probably 3 pit stops tonight. Let me know if the broadcast is still a little low. I've been adjusting it, but I don't want to blow anybody's eardrums out or blow the speakers. But right now, Casey Sprinkle, Steve Sidemore brings them down. Richard Elliott and Aubrey Thompson, row 2. We're rolling. Down in turn 1, Sizemore to outside lane, a great jump. Casey Sprinkle now. Already wrecking, hard into the wall. Michael Wingo through the grass. You saw the 0-2. Richard Elliott stuck up against the wall. Jackson Byes got turned. Somehow, someway, God almighty, already on lap 1. Justin Johnson is involved in it. Been a rough 2 broadcast races for him. God almighty already. It starts with Jackson Byes getting turned, unsure what happened. Let's go ahead and rewind it and see what happened actually. We're going to back it up just a little bit. All right, so there you go. First start. Corbett comes out a little bit of a neck, actually a little bit of a net code. It's all net code from my perspective of things. Ready to look at here. Look at the 58. I believe that's McLean or McLean. It's already wrecking by the time I see it. So we're going to look at it slow motion here. Then we'll try to get some onboard camera shots. Of course, the outside lane got a great jump. So Corbett, he's getting back to the back bumper, the 88. You see the 58 on the bottom come up. No contact. No contact really, but enough to net code the 88 and Richard Elliott hard into the wall. Sean Corbett, one of them up there. Caswell, the 05 to 30. Kevin Tipton talked to him at the top of the show, barely squeaking through. Justin Johnson, nowhere to go. See Michael Wingo all the way through the grass. All right, now, appreciate everybody tuning in that just got done looking at the Cup race. See if we can't ride on board with a couple of drivers here. There's a few drivers. All drivers are actually in the pits. We'll cover that in just a second. I'm going to try to get one on board with Justin Johnson through this. I understand. Here we go. Right on board with Justin Johnson. Already up through the gears, already in fourth. See, there's the wreck. Richard Elliott down to the bottom, coming, and Jacob Bison, hard impact. We'll ride back on board with one more driver here. And this will be from the gearbox of the driver of the 88, Jackson Buys. See how all this looks. Oh, that actually gives us a great angle here. I ain't gonna get it. So already, Calamity strikes early. I didn't even have time to get the scoring pylon to go across the screen before we had a caution. Now Casey Sprinkle still out in front. They just came out the pits. I have all lighties that Sprinkles beat Sizemore off pit road. Now, I'm not seeing nothing in the comment section saying the broadcast is quiet or too loud, so I'm hoping I've got that issue fixed. But right now, I'm on the green here. Justin Johnson, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, buddy, what's up?
Well, buddy, we just saw in the replay, nowhere to go, really. Did you think that you would have a chance sneaking through on the bottom, or was it really the only place to go, trying to get through that wreck?
Well, I tried to go for the bottom, and then he didn't hold the brake and rolled right in front of me. It is what it is.
Did you?
We got it fixed, and we'll see what happens here.
Was it fast repair?
Yep,
needed?
fast repair. Unfortunately, it had 7 minutes worth of damage, so we had to
Good God.
get it fixed.
All right, well, buddy, best of luck to you. Hopefully we talk to you at the end of this thing.
I appreciate it, Garrett.
Yep.
We'll do our best.
Which chat were you in, the race chatter one? Well, you heard from Justin Johnson, the truck trying to get through on the bottom. So, we'll ask a question in the chat down here. Let me see, I'll just put that poll out there while we wait for drivers to filter in and answer it. Steve Simonmore, Casey Sprinkles brings them down. I believe Sprinkles chose the outside lane for this restart. John Ward, the defending winner. And we are rolling. Of course, not a great start for the outside lane that we saw beforehand. However, Sprinkles now able to pull right back up to him, side by side off the two. Of course, the outside lane, see a couple drivers now, some trying to get formed up on that outside lane again. Justin Johnson, one of them. Side by side, down the back straightaway into turn 3. Working lap 5 will be 6. We get to the line, 45 laps to go. Down to the bottom, you see back there that blue and, well, more purple and yellow cars. Oh, the wrecking a big hard. Justin Johnson in it again. Justin Johnson, Sean Corbett, massive damage. And already the intensity is up tonight. Massive damage to the 45. You see, look at it, right side's completely killed. What in the world has happened tonight? Corbett with a meatball. That would more than likely be a fast repair. Justin Johnson, the damage is questionable. All right, let's go ahead and get a look at this one from the Crash Chopper cam. Look at bomb here, 3 wide. Corbett maybe comes up just a little bit, enough to get the 82, and already, man, just talked to Justin Johnson about just using this fast repair too, so the damage questionable as you ride back on board with him. It's amazing that he does not get. It's amazing that he does not get hit from where he's at. So right now, as you ride back on board, this is actually live. Right, live here from Talladega. See some drivers already in the pits. Casey Springs Seaside, they're all trying to really just get the fuel game right. The more fuel they can pack with these early cautions, the less they have to take later on in the race. You see Casey Sprinkles first one off of pit road. Right now, already it's been a bit of a struggle for some. We can't get Sean Corbett's side view if he's in the pits. I do not believe he is. I know somebody who I ain't talked to in a while. Aubrey Thompson, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up, guys?
Well, buddy, I understand I just threw you through about 4 or 5 group chats trying to get you up.
Yeah.
Buddy, these early cautions that have started, how is this really affecting the fuel game for later on when we will get some reflat pit stops in?
It's pretty much gonna throw it from 3 stops to 2 stops is what's gonna end up happening. Net goes very bad right now, dude, from what we could tell.
Yeah, we definitely saw it with the first wreck, and unsure, kind of a little bit close between the 45 and the 82 being netcode related. But yes, the first wreck definitely netcode. So you're back here in about 13th spot here. Does this kind of concern you being that the net code has been up and down tonight?
I'll be fine. I wanted to ride back here anyways. I was going to drop back at the beginning of the race on the back stretch, but they ended up wrecking before we got to that point, so it still put me back here. I had rear damage anyway, so I had to fix it.
Well,
I'll be all right.
Well, it's probably a good thing being that wreck started at the back. So, all right, buddy. Best of luck. Hope to talk to you at the end of this thing.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep, Aubrey Thompson in the pits right now, as you see. I got to drop him down. So already, early fuel will as Aubrey said, if it keeps happening, it'll become a 2-start race instead of a 3, like Casey said at the top of the show. Right now, top 5 as they run. Casey Sprinkle in first. Joshua McCullough in second. Garrett Casewell third. John Ward fourth. Michael Wingo, or Danny Barnes, I should say, is the top 5. As we sit here pacing under caution, this is the one to go. Chris Carter in the booth, or in the chat section, from Columbus, Ohio. Of course, Chris Carter, I believe he had 2 poles last week on the broadcasts. And we will look forward to seeing Chris Carter back on the Raging Idiot Racing Network in the future. All right, now, if this race tonight's any indication of how the rest of the week's going to go, it's going to be action-packed. Tomorrow night, Inspired Racing League Cup Series regular season finale live here tomorrow night. As 5 drivers look to try to make their way into the Inspired Cup Series Racing League for their inaugural playoffs. But that will be tomorrow night. As for tonight, right now, Casey Sprinkles has led all 6 laps, and so far they've been under caution. Outside lane, a bit of a check of effect. Still a great jump out of 59. Of course, Casey Sprinkles, such a great jump, able to go ahead and clear down to the bottom. And right now, Joshua McCullough pushing him as 2 cars break away. Here comes the outside lane. Garrett Caswell bringing him down the back straightaway. He's got Danny Burns pushing him. James Ware, Steve Sizemore, that's the top 4 of the outside lane. Down into turn 3. Trying to complete the first lap under green tonight. Rashawn Corbett had such a great run. Has such great races last week. Right now, 1 lap down in the 21st position. Down the front straightaway. Caswell out with a slight lead over Sprinkle. At the line, Garrett Caswell leads. A big bump to the 59 for the 14. Caswell down. Danny Burns out front for the moment. But right now, Garrett Caswell, or Casewell, he's really got a great pusher with Case Sprinkle behind him, but we know Sprinkle's not one to push. Sprinkles loves to pull the line. The other big thing is these trucks, it does not take them long to start overheating. About 3 or 4 laps of straight pushing, and these things will start to overheat. So watch as drivers drop up, drop to the back, try to get the cars cooled down. Right now, 2 cars outside lane. I just mentioned it. Sprinkle up to the top lane, looking to take the lead back from Caswell. The Sprinkle is right back down to the bottom, trying to establish control of both lanes. Right now, a 3rd lane has not been formed, which is good right now. But as we go on, drivers sort of get desperate. Speaking of desperate, I cannot call it desperation. You see Sean Corbett now trying to unlap himself under green. Nobody goes with him, and Corbett now will begin to fall right back. Probably going to find a spot in line between the 04 and the 02 here, and he does. So right now, back at the front, Barnes will lead this lap. Leads his first lap, so tonight Sprinkle's already led 8, 6 of them under caution. And now Sprinkle battling right back down. Caswell a little bit loose on the apron, getting a big push from the 14. Down the back straightaway, you see Joey Allen jumps out. Joey Allen jumps out of line in that 23. Probably thinking he don't want nothing to do with this right now. Of course, right now, Allen coming off of a 4th place finish here last Friday night. Right now, 21 viewers. This is the most I've had so far in any race of broadcast. So I appreciate all 21 viewers for tuning in right now. Casey Sprinkle leads his 9th lap. John Ward jumps up top, trying to pull that 3rd lane up. Joshua McCullough, of course, I was told the son of one of the best plate racers and money racers on iRacing to ever walk the earth. Kenny McCullough's son, Joshua. Right now, trying to take the lead from Sprinkle, which is not an easy task, coming from the driver to 59. Ward now still trying to put a lap car. Corbin and Michael Wingo on that 3rd lane. Right now, 3 driver jumps up, and now make it. McLean jumps up in that pink 58, pink and blue. I love the color on that truck. Right now, McCullough leads his first laps officially tonight. Right now you see James Waring, 3 wides already started. 37 to go. And of course, let's go ahead and take a look at the pit strategy so far tonight. And you see, so drivers have, you see several drivers made several pit stops here. And right now, as you see, Larry McDonald up in the wall in that Ohio State 80 truck, able to keep it straight for the moment. Still 3x3 for the lead. You see the top lane now starting to fall back just a little bit. Middle lane surging ahead. Danny Burns in that pink and white number 7 trying to lead this lap at the line. And Barnes will be able to lead that lap barely. Right now, outside lane trying to battle back 3x3 on lap 15, working 36 laps to go here on a Sunday night. What better way to end the weekend? Right now, the middle lane really being able to try to hold that bottom lane at bay. McCullough now with a push for Sprinkles off of turn 4. McCullough jumps up, giving Sprinkles the bottom lane, trying to keep it together. Right now, though, drivers starting to jump to the middle. As you see, the outside lane kind of deteriorated just a little bit, but Ward not giving it up, trying to get back up there. John Ward trying to go 2 in a row. Sprinkles now up top. They'll cover McLean. Right now, top 5, McCullough, Casey, Manning, McLean. And right now, Luke Freeman for the moment, but not by much. That is the top 5 that's constantly changing every second. Right now, oh, Danny almost squeezed the 59 just a little bit. McCullough up to block the 59. Right now, Joshua McCullough trying to lead the most laps tonight. You see McLean now drop to the bottom. 3 cars, single file on the bottom. Won't stay like that for very long. Possibly 4. Danny Burns in that 70 inside lane starting to pull together. Right now down the back straightaway, McCullough with a lean Sprinkles in the entire field. Seeing that a 5, Luke Freeman. Then a battle back with the 30 of Kevin Tippin. I should say. Aubrey Thompson has worked himself up after starting in the back on that last restart. Starting to work himself back up in the top 5 position. John Ward said, forget the top lane for right now. I'll ride in the middle. Ward, the 4th truck on the outside lane. Right now, the top 18 separated by 1.1 seconds. The only driver not in this lead drafted William H. Scott Jr. 32 seconds off the pace. City 05. Up there up top trying to make something happen. Justin Johnson along with him. Johnson's already had a very eventful night tonight. You see now Justin back there in the back drops to the bottom. Meanwhile, still 2 by 2 down the front straightaway. Scott McLean out front just for a moment at the line. McLean will lead his first lap of the night officially and drops down to the bottom, coming to 14. Casey Sprinkles on the outside lane trying to bring it back. Of course, you can see how the 59, if he's able to pull back up here, just how strong that truck is each and every week. Down the back straightaway, able to get side by side with the 14 for the moment. But right now, if you're somebody like, we'll go with the 14. See how fast they're going on the dashboard at the bottom of the screen. Right now, 191 through the tri-oval. Is going to drop just a little bit. As the 14 now jumps up to the top, he's getting pushed by the 59 of Sprinkles. 192 maxed out going into turn number 1. Wait and see what is down the back straightaway. But really that's what I want to see how big that outside lane can get to run down the back straightaway. As McCullough now leads. Only barely though. Bottom lane starting to come back. 192, 193. So about 193 down the speed trap or the back straightaway at Talladega. As right now, working 31 laps to go at Talladega. See Aubrey Thompson back there starting to duck out of line. I have a feeling Casey Sprinkle said at the top of the broadcast or at the top of the race that he can only get about 17 laps. Right now, you look at the stint length for the pit strategy. Right now, these drivers are starting to work into the pit window. So what you're going to want to see, a lot of drivers will try to jump to the bottom. Some are going to try to pit from the middle lane. But you see right now, Steve Sizemore in that 8, he just dropped down to the bottom. Drivers are going to start migrating down so it's easier to get on the pit road. Of course, pit strategy and getting on pit road during green flag pit stops, it is so important. Why you saw a lot of drivers, for those that tuned in for the pre-race and the practice session, saw a lot of drivers working on getting on the pit road, some struggling with it. Better to get the mistakes out then than to have them now. 3 wide further back in the pack, Justin Johnson, the 04 of Ambrose Knievel. I believe that's the 23 of Joey Allen. And it was. So that's the battle for 19th at the moment. Right now, only 4 trucks to really try to keep this outside lane afloat. But slowly they are sinking down to running order. See right now, a big block. Jackson Buys. Drop down to the bottom. But right now, 3 trucks really to try to keep this outside lane before they go single file. Green flag pit stops hopefully coming within the next 2 to 3 laps. It's going to be interesting to see how they all get to pit road. If it's anything like last week, it's going to be a struggle. If there's a caution, and Sean Corbett's not involved in it, he should be the free pass recipient if they're doing that. But right now, Joshua McCullough leading. And they'll stay out a little bit more. Most of the drivers working 17 laps as we speak, going to be 18. So it might be able to go a little bit further than what Casey might be able to go through. But right now, everybody's still waiting. You got to think all the drivers who are in a Discord channel with each other, all strategizing when they're gonna come, how they're gonna do it. They've seen a 5 of Luke Freeman able to edge out just a little bit. 3 trucks trying to hold that outside lane together, and it's amazing that they can do it with about 18 to 17 trucks on the bottom. Everybody looks to stay out another lap here. So perhaps they can go a little bit longer than 17 to 18 laps. Down the back straightaway again. We're getting 26 to go now. And pretty much you see that. Well, some drivers jump back up to the top lane. Try to work something out here. And here comes most of the drivers down. McCullough, Sprinkle, McLean, by. I reckon. Wingo back up on the track. Wingo waiting for caution. No caution yet. The 58 black flag, too fast entering. So already several drivers having an issue. No caution, we keep it green for the moment. And here comes the rest of the field, even bigger this time, led by Danny Burns. Steve Sizemore coming to 5, locking it up. Oh, big stack up, Sizemore around, the 30's around, Freeman's involved in it. Several drivers, pit road being an issue again. And cautions do not get thrown for pit stop. Oh, where it gets turned. Good God almighty. I ain't never seen so many drivers struggle on pit road. But it's to be expected. You know, a lot of drivers trying to get on the pit road. As right now, these Casey Sprinkle and Joshua McCullough right now trying to take over the lead. Corbett still has not got his lap back yet. Saw Waring get turned trying to enter his pit box or whatever the deal was there, but it's caused Waring a lot of time. And you see now, this is where the group's going to start reforming. So Casewell or Danny Burns and Garrett Casewell, your top 2 here. John Ward in 3rd. Casey Sprinkles and Joshua McCullough going to try to start pulling that little pack that they got back there. I say little pack, there's like 6 or 7 trucks. Sean Corbett at 45 again, still 1 lap down after the second wreck of the night. So again, pit road biting a lot of drivers in the butt tonight. So as we run, Sprinkles has actually took over the lead. Joshua McCullough in 3rd, Danny Burns in 3rd, Caswell 4th, John Ward in 5th. Audrey Thompson 6th, Richard Elliott in 7th, Joseph Allen 8th, Larry McDonald in 9th, and Michael Parole in the 10th spot. That is the top 10 for the moment. And right now, Larry McDonald trails the back of this pack here. On further back though, there's the 05 and that the 05 and I believe that's Michael Wingo. It is. Wingo in 20th, 1 lap down, on back down through the field. There's a bit of a third pack here. Johnson, Knievel, Buys, most of these drivers being affected. Steve Sizemore and Kevin Tipton, or Tippin, I should say. And then Scott McLean actually going a lap down now. That does. So if he does not blend back in line, he will be racing Corbett for the lucky dog spot here if there's a caution with 21 laps to go. Casey Sprinkle has led 11 laps tonight. Right behind him, Joshua McCullough has led 9. With that being said, we're going to look at the biggest movers of the race. Right now, Joey Allen in that purple and yellow 23 up 11. Danny Barnes in that pink and white 7 up 10. And then on towards the back, well, Garrett Caswell and Ambrose Knievel are tied with up plus 8 spots where they started tonight. So far, biggest drivers who have moved back. Been a tough night. Scott McLean just saw him go a lap down, and Steve Sizemore both down 14 spots from where they started. And they both have a lot of work to do. Right now, 20 to go. Everybody right now content, just ride single file. Try to make this on fuel, perhaps. Because right now, $19 to go. Sprinkle ducks out of line, unsure why. Probably try to drop back, save a little bit of fuel. Kind of disorients the bottom lane, but it will give Joshua McCullough back to lead. Of course, 18 to go this time. It's going to be close to see if they can make it on fuel. We'll bring back up the pit strategy thing. They were able to go 19 to 20 laps on this last stint. Well, actually, they might be able to make it. Unsure at the moment. But the way it looks, they've already ran 7. Well, actually, they've already ran 7 laps, and it's still 18 to go. Anybody that's trying to make it is going to be very close. And of course, if you're the lead car, or Joshua McCullough, then honestly, you're honestly burning more fuel now than what the guys behind you are. The deeper in the backyard, the more fuel you're burnt, the more fuel you're actually saving. So we'll see if the 14 decides to drop back. Right now, it is never too early to put in your picks for the race winner tonight. Or if there's a driver that you like in the field, you can shout them out in the comment section below. And let us know at the Raging Idiot Racing Network who your favorite HGR driver is. Right now, pretty much this lead pack, unless there's a caution that contains of 9 drivers on the lead lap, 2 a lap down. If this race goes green with 16 to go, this is going to be decided between them. And that's how it was decided Friday night. We saw John Ward, 4th truck in line, get his win. Looking to go 2 in a row. But the driver to 17, Garrett Caswell, as you see, he's actually ducking out of line. Caswell really trying to go up 2 more spots. He's finished no less than in the top 5 all last week, but not able to get up there and make any dough. As you see, some drivers coming down pit road. Perhaps a strategy call, some locking up the brakes. Ward, no black flag with 15 to go. Perhaps a strategy call in the making. Brown bringing out a lot of front runners here. Meanwhile, Sean Corbett not in second, of course, 1 lap down still. Garrett Caswell is your leader. What an interesting pit strategy call. With 15 to go, does Caswell come in? He does. Sean Corbett will get his lap back momentarily. So Garrett Caswell in. We're going to see if Johnson them stays out. Not sure what happened there. A little bit of a miscue, perhaps thought about it. Jackson Buys will now take the lead. Right now, these are the leaders for the moment, but how long they decide to stay out is up for debate. I have a feeling there, well, if everybody else had to pit in, oh, big. Michael Wingo, bit of a big shot to the back of the 88. Wingo not second in line. Scott McLean, too fast entering pit road. That is the second time McLean has been penalized on pit road tonight. Right now you see Justin Johnson. He has had a rough night, but trying to salvage something out of it, running in 3rd. Michael Carroll in the 05, running 2nd right now. It really is just up to debate when would these drivers pit. They're going to stay out another lap. Got to think Bice, however, is going to try to use the, well, I stand corrected. I thought he was going to try to use the 45 to try to maybe get a bit of a draft, save a little bit of fuel, but instead they go ahead and lap him. So Corbett now back 1 lap down and got to stay with this pack here because the 25 is who he is racing for the free pass should a caution come out. The 58 is back in to serve his penalty. You see him at the bottom. So right now, is Jackson Bice trying to make it stretch, or is he waiting long enough, hoping for a caution to pit? Only time will tell. 11 to go this time for Talladega on HGR Sunday night. On back to the field, you see the pack that's 15 back. Well, I say a pack, really ain't much there. Luke Freeman, James Waring both had up and down nights. You see the two of William H. Scott Jr. 2 down. There is what should be the lead pack if By's in them pits. Being led by Danny Burns, John Ward, Joshua McCullough, Casey Sprinkle, and Larry McDonald. But right now, waiting and seeing as the 88, the 05, the 82 stay out this time. However, the 05, I believe that was the 05, Kevin Tipton, that's the 30 in the pits. So right now, just going to be interesting to see how this works. Scott McLean, you see back there, he is tagged on to this draft here. 10 to go. We'll pull up the pit strategy here and see where these drivers are at on a 15 lap stint already. I do not believe they're going to be able to make it. Nope, here they come. We'll see how they get on pit road. A little bit better for the most part. You see the 25 runs into the 05 a little bit, but with that being said, these two will actually be your leader, Luke Freeman, James Waring. But the only issue is they're just two trucks. And actually now 5 seconds back comes Danny Burns and the rest of the field who have made pit stops earlier. If I ain't mistaken, I do not believe Waring in them pit. Will look back real quick. No, they have not. So when it cycles out, this will be the race for the win. But Danny Burns should be cycling out as the leader. Unless he gets past, of course. Alright, so I got a Caswell, I got a Sizemore. Right now, both of them drivers. Of course, Sizemore not having the race he wanted so far after an incident on pit road, being shown in 16th. And as far as Garrett Caswell goes, being shown in the 15th position. For both them drivers, I hate to say it, going to need a miracle. As right now you look at Freeman and Waring, they are the leaders for right now. Now there is Steve Sizemore actually. And here they both come. So Danny Barnes is going to inherit the lead here with 8 laps to go, coming to 7. And now I believe the race will be on. Sean Corbett had to come back in and serve a black flag. Not how he wanted to start his week. Right now, 7 to go. And you see now Ward jumping out of line a little bit, thinking about it. He goes with him. Here comes Joshua McCullough, Larry McDonald with him. Sprinkles up to the back bumper, and a lot of drivers jumping to the outside lane. Ward down to the bottom, trying to go 2 in a row. Seven laps to go. Going to be 6. Of course, John Ward, the winner from Friday night, trying to get it done 2 in a row here on the Raging Idiot Racing Network broadcast. Sizemore going to lap down. McCullough now trying to put an outside lane. Allen, Thompson, and Elliott all jump back down to the bottom. That's going to hurt them 2 trucks on the outside lane. Casey Sprinkles jumps up. Ward does not block. Sprinkles now trying to battle back on the outside. Ward's telling Barnes to push me, man, just push me. Right now, those Sprinkles side by side. Sprinkles side by side now, coming off of turn 4, down the front straightaway through the tri-oval. Casey Sprinkles tonight, or Sprinkle, I'm sorry, I keep putting an S behind it. has led the most laps tonight. John Ward just now leading his second one. Sprinkle has led 13 laps, the most of any driver so far. But right now, though, Ward able to come back up and try to, well, technically was clear for a moment. Choose stay to the bottom. Barnes pushing Ward down the back straightaway. Bottom lane trying to keep the outside lane at bay. Sprinkles with a almost clear, barely not able to get down. McCullough pushing Sprinkle on the outside lane. McDonald and Elliott with them. Oh, not clear. McDonald, save it, man, save it. He does. Somehow. Oh, still ain't saved it yet. And he's finally going to lose it when they throw a caution. What a save, somewhat, from Larry McDonald. It was a great drive. Are they going to throw a caution? Still stuck on the track map. Caution is out. And this changes everything. And Larry McDonald still on the track trying to get it refired. Finally does. But it will send us into overtime, more than likely. Lord have mercy. What better way to start the week off? And if I was not mistaken, according to our information, Steve Sizemore, if they do wave arounds, should get his lap back. It was awesome until it wasn't. Let's go back and see what happened to Larry. So actually, we're going back all the way up, just see what happened to start all this. Going into turn 3 from the far chase cam. He comes down and just barely, if he had another 2 inches, he would have had it. Of course, fighting it all the way through, and finally, I don't know if he's trying to spin it out to get a caution or what, but regardless, the truck comes to stop on the track, and that is enough to throw the caution. Don't know how the officials would look at that. Probably not going to be a fun meeting. But what it does do is it sets up what should be a green-white checker. See Sizemore getting his lap back. Danny Barnes, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, honey, yeah. No warning. But it's been a strong truck all night. For those that have just tuned in, you've only led 5 laps, but that's not been the whole story. You got anything for what could potentially be a green-white checkered here?
It's going to be a fight for sure. It's going to be, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but it's going to be interesting.
Well, buddy, I'll run it down for you. John Ward won the last time we were on the air, Friday night. He's looking to go 2 in a row. You know Casey Sprinkles wants to be the leader on whichever line he gets put in. You got Joshua McCullough behind you. Obviously the son of one of the best in Kenny McCullough to ever run esports and money races in general. You got a stacked field behind you. Is there any plans tonight? Anybody you've worked out a deal with so far, or you just playing it by ear?
Just playing it by ear and try to keep Casey and Josh from getting together because they're on the same team. So if we keep them separated, we got a chance. If they get hooked up, it's going to be a dogfight. I'll go with Ward I'll have to go with him wherever he goes because them two ain't gonna leave each other.
Yeah, I don't blame you. All right, buddy. Best of luck to you. We'll let you get down back to where you're at.
Thank you, sir.
And you were down there in Team 5, correct?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
Gotta remember where I pulled these jokers from. Leave Sizemore in. And he actually, Sizemore, a black flag, probably too fast entering the pits. 1 to green. The first of 3 green-white checkers. This is gonna be good. So what does this do exactly? This brings in 16 drivers on the lead lap. This brings all 16 back in with a chance to win this. Actually, I've been wanting to interview this dude all night. Joshua McCullough. Did I pronounce it correct, first and foremost?
Yes, sir. You got it.
Okay, good. I've been stressing about that all day. Or all night, really. Well, buddy, obviously I was told at the top of the show who your father is. And so far tonight, you seem like you've been fulfilling in his footsteps. Now, you and Sprinkles have traded the most laps led tonight all night. Is there a plan going into this green-white checker?
Just mainly staying up front, trying to hold down the positions, and I was kind of hoping we wouldn't have got that yellow right here because we pretty much had top 5, top 6 set right there. And hopefully right here we don't wreck on the final lap, and maybe I can get a cash spot.
All right, buddy. Well, I'm gonna drop you on back down. Let you get ready
Yes,
for this.
sir.
Best of luck to you. Hope to talk to you at the end of this thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, yep. To re-rack the top 5. Ward, Sprinkle, McCullough, Barnes, Elliott. That is the top 5. Pace car is in. Grab the ratchet straps. Go ahead and ratchet strap the TV down. It's about to be one of the most intense green-white checkers you'll ever see. Ward brings them down. Sprinkle's on the inside. Who gets the better launch? Nobody really. Allen jumps out of line. Bit of a checkup on both lanes. And even going down into turn number 1. 2 laps to go. Ward now out in front, only by just a little bit. Sprinkle now falling back. Sprinkle now. Of course, Barnes pushing Sprinkle down the back straightaway. Allen with them. You see the 14 jumps out of line just a little bit. 3 wide already. Ward, oh, the 14 gets tagged. There they go. God almighty, 05 upside down. The 14, McCullough's in it. Richard Elliott. Justin Johnson for the 3rd time tonight. And this appears to be terminal. Well, as I said, I know massive damage to the right side. God almighty Lord, what happened? Well, we saw him get 3 wide off of 4, or off of 2, I should say, and I don't know if they all just ran according together. Big damage to the driver's side of Joshua McCullough, and it would appear that the cash spot may be gone. So let's see what happened. So this is Richard Elliott. Okay, here we go. So it's going to start off with 2 here down the back straightaway. Of course, drivers trying to get, so 02 goes 3 wide. Looks like the 88 Jackson Buys just does not get off of him. They go, look at the 05 upside down. Sheesh. And so we'll rack that up here. You're going to see. I mean, the 14 does go up. I don't know if it's intentionally trying to go up. Maybe was hoping the 02 would go with him and stick Ward in the middle. It was a block by Ward that kind of puts the 14 up in the 3rd lane. At the same time, the 88 not getting off of the back of the 02 finally turns him. Justin Johnson gets into it. You see McCullough collects Zeb Johnson in it. Zeb Johnson's not had the night that he wanted. Been an up and down night. And really has just been playing catch up ever since. We're right on board with the 82. Sees the wreck going to the bottom, trying to get low. And the 2 just barely gets into him. Well, I'm being joined in the booth by somebody. Justin Johnson, as a matter of fact, just on board with you. Buddy.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? We're done for the day. We're just racing out here is a little insane. I figured I'd come up here and say hello.
Yeah, buddy. Of course, just was talking about you going to the bottom, not able to get nowhere, not able to go down low, and of course, not the night that you have playing tonight.
No, sir, it hasn't been. Wrong place, wrong time all night. But we'll see what happens here. I think we got a good finish coming.
Oh, we had a great finish setting up here. I don't know if you looked at the replay, but what exactly did you see happen from your screen?
I have not had a chance to look at it. Basically, I just tried to zig and zag, and I lost.
So it's hard playing chess at about 190 mile an hour, ain't it? Trying to figure out where
Yeah,
to go.
pretty much. Just gotta point and pray.
Yes, sir, buddy.
But I think John Ward here has got a chance to pull another one off. We'll see what Sprinkle does.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's shaping up to be Danny Barnes back there in third. He has a great night, of course. Wednesday night, big charity event for Barnes and his family. More than likely,
Absolutely.
more than
What
likely
they've been
I'll
doing for Danny Barnes' family has been a good turnout, and I hope they get
more than likely
get
I'll
back
be
going, get their feet going again.
more likely I'll be covering that broadcast Wednesday night. I don't think I have nothing planned for that night.
Yeah, it should be a good one. I hope we get a good turnout.
We do too.
But I keep an eye on Aubrey Thompson too. He's been fast.
Of course, Thompson, the winner from last week.
Yep, he's certainly currently sitting 5th. So.
Are you looking at the broadcast right now, or are you just watching from, because you're still in the iRacing chat?
I am on the iRacing chat on my TV1.
I'm just being sure I'll share my screen with you here. If you want to look at it that way from the broadcast point of view.
Yeah, that'll make it easier.
Of course, 20 viewers on hand tonight. Maxed out at 23, the most I've had it since I started doing this gig. And of course, I apologize to everybody if some of the broadcasts they seem a bit amateur. I never planned on going public with this or doing full time, but here we are, and I'm going to tell you, Justin, I've been loving every broadcast I've done so far. So with that being said, we're going to re-rack it. This is attempt 2 of 3. And it is Danny Burns, Casey Sprinkle, John Ward, Joseph Allen, Aubrey Thompson, the top 5. Garrett Caswell, don't know why I keep messing that name up, had the chance to win it. James Waring has not been seen all night. Been an up and down.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on him. He's been running in the back with me.
Well, I'm going to tell you another one. And I talked to him at the top of the show tonight. Steve Sizemore back on the lead lap, sitting back there in 10th.
Yep, another one.
After, of course, last week, Sizemore one of the dominant trucks / cars last week and was not able to get it done on neither night.
All right, here we go.
It's going to be interesting here. And hopefully the computer holds together.
Don't forget, we still have one more green white left.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Zeb, ratchet strap to the computer, buddy. It's going to be wild. We're green. Sprinkles leads them down a great jump on the bottom. Sprinkle now barely out in front, only by a little bit. Mars coming back on the outside lane, a push for the 23 of Allen. Down into turn 1, 2 to go. We're going to make it back. Caswell, big
Look at
block.
that crazy block.
Woo! Hang on to them, boys. Just one more lap. You can do whatever at the white flag. Down the back straightaway. Barnes now trying to put an outside lane. Side by side with Sprinkle. Down the back
Who's
straightaway.
gonna dip out?
Caswell.
Third lane, Mike, warming up.
They're trying to. Caswell blends back in line. Wearing with him. Justin, is it really too late to form that third lane?
I would hope. I don't think it's gonna happen. They're gonna need some guys definitely to work together to get rolling.
McCullough trying to work back up there with Sizemore. Sizemore dips back down. Waring jumps out. Trying to put a 14. White flag. Sprinkle leads at the line.
But John Ward with his help.
Just Barnes now. Allen trying to make something happen. Third lane not able. Sprinkles up the block. Here comes John Ward trying to go 2 in a row. Wrecking behind. Michael Wingo saves it. Barely. Down the back straight. Oh, there they go. The 05 upside down again. Sizemore is in it. McDonald's in it. We'll focus back to the finish. Hard crashing. Of course, Justin bottom lane. Only 2 trucks. Not able to get it done. Looks like.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get there.
Sprinkle's in. Sprinkle covering the bottom. Through the tri-oval. Casey Sprinkle, welcome back to victory lane. Ward second, Barnes third, Thompson, Allen a top 5. God almighty, they never disappoint, do they?
No, sir.
Never
That
disappoint.
Sprinkle kid's got a lot of talent. And when he's out front, he's tough to beat.
Every night, it seems like. Always wanted the favorites, $50 going to first and second, so it really didn't matter who came ahead tonight anyway. Between Ward and Sprinkle, we're going to get Casey in here as he's burn it down. Casey Sprinkle, Justin Johnson, Garrett Jingles up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, man.
Well, buddy, again, Justin just said it right before we pulled you in here. God-given talent when it comes to super speedways. And, buddy, it's the second or third time you've been getting a race interview here. So tell us about the night. Intensity off the chart again. Early cautions. Was it all just able to play into your hands, fuel, strategy-wise and track position-wise?
Man, before the first pit stop, I mean, I was feeling pretty good, and then after both pit stops, actually, I was still in a good position, and there was only like 8 people out there with us in the pack after the second pit stop, and I was like, okay, it's gonna be a good finish. I got one of my teammates up there with me to help, and then Larry got toned on the apron, and the next time we come around, the caution came out, so I guess he was stopped. Jackson said he was doing burnouts. I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet. And I was like, oh my gosh, that just ruined my race, didn't it? And I knew that a bunch of people that was up there were probably going to be working together, but I was in a good position because I had the lead. I think I did then. Oh no, I was in second, and then I took the lead on the restart, and then another caution came out, and then I thought I was really screwed there because I didn't have enough fuel. I thought I didn't have enough fuel. I coasted on the apron. I ran out of fuel right in turn 2 right after the checkered flag, and before we got to the checkered on the white flag, John was doing an excellent job pushing. Got me clear of Danny in turn 1. I knew he was going to be hot. I jumped up in front of Danny, and Danny gave me a great push all the way around, and I think all we got a little hot. Oh, he lost his help and was probably hot from pushing John before I jumped up. Danny did an amazing job coming out of 4. He went to my outside. I wasn't going to block it. I just went down in front of John, and John really gave me that big push at the end there, too. And Danny actually came down to kind of block John in, too, which helped me, and John gave me an excellent push. I think John got second, too, so good to see all them people up there cash.
Yes, sir, everybody. As right now having a little bit of a discussion in the general thread on Discord. But Justin, you got any questions you want to ask him?
Yeah, Casey, are you surprised that Ward went with you there through the tri-oval, or were you expecting him to hang you out to dry?
If there was a hole, I was expecting it, but Danny, I mean, he didn't even come down all the way. Yeah, I would have probably expected it, but not whenever there was a hole. I don't expect him to try nothing stupid, which he definitely didn't. And I mean, if it was Logan York or somebody, he probably would have split that lane, but it couldn't even really maybe get split. So if it was just me and John, yes, but since it wasn't, then no.
I tried to hang your ass out, Casey. I just couldn't do it.
Well, Casey, real fast before we let you go, enjoy your probably the second or third win on the Raging Idiot Racing Network that I'm aware of. Anybody want to thank friends, sponsors, family, etc.?
My teammate, Josh McCullough, I was in VC working with him. Too bad to see him get out of the money there. He was doing great up there at the front, helping me out. Me and him were up there and with everyone else, and it looks like he just got wrecked on that restart, which kind of sucks. Yeah, couldn't work his way back up. Y'all for broadcasting. Can't wait to go back and watch this. Probably gonna be a great broadcast. Jimmy Crow for putting the race on. Always enjoy doing his races. They're always pretty good. I hate to see that race play out like it did. I figured there wasn't gonna be no yellow.
Yeah. We all did, but buddy, it's inevitable. Casey Sprinkles, your winner tonight. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations, Casey. Good job.
And as we are being joined here by third place winner, Danny Burns, buddy. It was a hard fought victory at the end, just comes up 2 spots short. Was there anything you think you could have done different to try to anticipate a better outcome?
Nah, about the only thing we could have done was try to leave Casey a little bit sooner than me and Joseph did. But we were all in the same voice chat working together, and I got to give it to Casey. He beat us heads up, so props to him. He flat beat us, so we did the best we could do.
Well, buddy, you told me right before we went green that you didn't want Ward or Casey to get hooked up, and they did not get hooked up the first time, but the second time they did. What was the communication like? Were y'all trying to get them split together, or was it pretty much just try to outrun them? I know you just said Casey flat out beat you, but was there a plan to try to get a better run off one of the corners, or was it just pretty much game over?
Yeah, I was working with Ward and Richard Elliott and Aubrey and Joseph. We were all working together, and I was trying to keep Josh and Casey apart. We were trying to keep them two from getting hooked up, and then Josh got killed in that one wreck on the backstretch. And after that, we thought we had a chance, but Casey still beat us. So, like I said, he gets full props. He flat beat us.
All right, buddy. First and foremost, I would like to extend my condolences to what you and your family are going through right now. I wish nothing but the best of luck to you.
I do appreciate that, and I thank everyone in the community that has reached out, sent me DMs, donated. It means a ton. This community, we fight like kids and yell at each other and everything else. But when people need help, everybody steps up, and that's something. We're all a family. We're dysfunctional, but we're still a family.
And with that being said, always leading to the last question I ask every driver. That being said, is there anybody that you do want to thank, whether it's family, friends, sponsors, or God himself for just, is there anybody you got on your mind that you do want to thank tonight?
Skid Row Motorsports, you guys for the broadcast. I watch all the broadcasts back. You do a heck of a job. John Ward, Richard Elliott, Aubrey Thompson, Joseph Allen, all those guys. And Jimmy for putting this thing on. I mean, it's a great deal we got going here, and I hope Jimmy does a great job. So I just appreciate everybody, and again, thank everyone for reaching out on behalf of my son. I really do appreciate it.
Yes, sir, buddy, not a problem. And I plan, if nothing doesn't happen, I do plan on being there Wednesday night for the charity race broadcasting it. And buddy, we just wish the best of luck to you.
I do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Ain't no problem, buddy. Unofficially, Danny Barnes comes in third tonight. Appreciate your time, buddy.
You too, sir.
That being said, we will get the driver who did finish second in here. John Ward, Garrett Jenkins got a copy.
I got you.
Well, buddy, unfortunately, buddy, not the night you wanted. On one screen, it's showing you got fifth. On another screen, you're showing you got second. So I ain't really sure what the order is, but we'll go 5th for now. But, buddy, again, you show up when it matters. The quest for 2 in a row does end. Was there anything you felt like you could have done different, or was it pretty much game over when Casey got in front of you?
Yeah, Casey, he's real good, and we had teammates. We were working together in Discord with a couple up front, and Casey's just so strong. We were trying to holler at Danny to leave him out and hang him, and we did everything we could, and he still got the win. So I don't know if there's anything we could have done. That kid, he's real good, man. I tell you, he's real young, and he's got some talent, and it's good to watch him as he's growing and racing every night.
Yeah, you just can't go off of the fact that his thing at the bottom says they race car drivers a little bit more than that. Yeah, buddy, it was a up and down night, intensity off the chart. How did you go about surviving the night, surviving the early carnage and whatnot? Just in general, what was your take on the night?
Yeah, it was a couple early yellows. The first one I was on the bottom, and it was like wasn't even up to speed, and they was wrecking up top. So I went to the apron and kind of avoided that one pretty easily. And then I was in the front for the most part. Like I said, I was going to try to stay up there, and they were mostly behind me, so I was lucked out on the wreck. I think I had a pass repair at the end, so it worked out good. And we had a couple good pit stops, which led us staying up in the front ahead of the wrecks. That was the main thing.
All right, buddy. Real quick, I end this question for everybody. There anybody you want to thank tonight? Friends, sponsors, family, etc. Just anybody in general.
Jimmy Crow for hosting these races. He does a good job of getting everybody together and doing these events. We're getting more and more people in here, and it seems like it's getting funner and it's growing, and it's some really good, clean racing. Thank you guys for broadcasting. You always do a really good job, and it's fun when you have broadcasts to get more viewers and stuff. And everybody a part of Dega Pros and the community there.
All right, buddy. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the gestures. We hope to see you restart and get win number 2 here on the Raging Idiot Racing Network broadcast. Best of luck to you next week, buddy.
Thank you, Jim Bob.
Yes, sir. With that being said, we'll pull in Aubrey Thompson real quick, as I believe he says he finished in the 3rd spot on one screen. Of course, the order's jacked up a little bit. So, yeah, so Aubrey Thompson. Going to have to change that graphic real quick. Unofficially, Thompson will finish 4th. And we'll go ahead and pull him in here real quick. Aubrey Thompson, Garrett Jenkins in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, buddy, P4 tonight. You played the strategy the way that you say you wanted to. Rode in the back. I do want to ask, whose idea was it to come in with about 16 to go? Was it a strategy call, or was it? What was the?
Yeah. We were trying to pit early to beat the crowd, which it did. It worked, but then of course we had that mayhem go on to bring out the caution.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I had front end damage from the pit stop because where they pretty much slammed on brakes getting in, and I couldn't get nowhere. But I come out all right, I reckon.
Yeah, you did, buddy. You came out 4th. You earned a little bit of money tonight. The overtemps. Did you think coming up to the green white checker? Did you feel like that you could get up there, maybe challenge the 59? Or you just mentioned you had damage, so did you think the damage might have prevented you from being able to pull a line? Just what was the thoughts going through the 2 attempts at a green-white checkered?
Whenever Casey jumped up on I think coming out of 2, he jumped up. And I was pushing John. Literally, by the time we got to turn 3, I was already hot. So that tells you how much damage I had.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Good God. You telling me I could have cooked breakfast on that motor, for Christ's sake?
Yeah, the water. I didn't have no problem with the oil temp, but the water temp was definitely high. And I mean, nobody could see I had damage because everybody checked it that I asked, but it definitely had damage because I had like 35 seconds worth of it. So.
Which is weird, 35 seconds, but the radiator's evidently busted on it.
Yeah, with this new damage model, since iRacing done their update, the slight bit of damage will kill any of them. So.
Yeah, Temu parts, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, I end every interview with with me asking the same old question. Is there anybody you want to thank tonight? Friends, family, sponsors, team, whatever the deal may be. Is there anybody you want to shout out or give credit to?
Yeah, man, I just want to thank John and all the other guys that were running with us, Richard, Danny. There was a few of us in there that was running. They'll give Casey congrats, man. He done what he was supposed to do up front. No dirty blocking or nothing. And I mean, it was all in all pretty much a clean race. Besides, a couple net codes and then a little bit of the whatever happened. I don't know, to be honest with you. So all in all, great race. And I thank you for the broadcast, man. But I know you do a good job at that, anyways.
I try to.
So,
Took a wrong hit of the vape there, but all right, buddy. Aubrey Thompson comes in for. Appreciate your time. Looking forward to seeing you Friday night in the Midnight
Yes,
Racing
sir.
League and seeing you throughout the rest of the week.
yes, sir. I appreciate it.
No problem. Well, that being said, we do have the 30. He is waiting. That would be Kevin Tippin. Not the finish that he wanted tonight by any means. As we will get him set up here. Well, yeah, just an action-packed race tonight. And we'll go ahead and pull up the driver to 30. Kevin, whoops, wrong one. Sorry, Casey. Kevin Tippin, Gary Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you. What's up?
Well, buddy, not the result that you wanted by any means, considering how fast you were in practice and qualifying. Just take me through the whole night. Intensity off the chart. What was your take of things?
Yeah, I mean, it started out pretty good. We were running up top 5, top 10 area. I knew when the first green flag stop came, somebody would get into some involvement, and I kind of got blindsided there going into the pits. It wasn't really anybody's fault. It was just a checkup on the inside, and I got the worst of it. And then it just kind of poured from there, and was never able to get back on that lead lap.
Yeah, we saw that, buddy. Pit road continues to be the struggle, as we've seen throughout all last week. It was horrendous trying to get on there. And what do you think is the cause behind that? I believe I already asked you this question earlier, but I know I asked somebody this question, but it just seems like the bigger the packs that come in, the more we have these issues. Is there any way to try to prevent that from happening, or is it pretty much it's probably just going to happen no matter how it plays out?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how much it happens here. It's my first race here, but I mean, it seems like it doesn't happen in some of the other series, I will say. When I was in the practice, I was only seeing about 3 or 4 cars out there, so I'm not calling out any names, but I would say some of the guys got to practice their pits a little bit more. So I guess practice makes perfect.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. Especially whenever there's money on the line. Everybody's got to bring their A game up. Well, since you're new here, I normally ask the drivers my ending question. I know drivers got sponsors, people actually sponsor them. So that being said, is there anybody you want to thank, whether it's friends, family, sponsors, God himself, or etc.?
Yeah, I just want to thank my team for coming out. Luke Freeman and Michael Carroll with Ninth Gear Racing. We came out. We gave it our best. They had a pretty good run there till the end. Both got caught up in that one, but big shout out to them. Shout out for Jimmy for putting these on, and shout out for you for coming out here and giving us a broadcast.
Yes, sir, buddy. It ain't no problem. And we hope to see you back throughout the week or in the future.
All right, I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. But for right now, Kevin Timpton will finish in the 16th spot tonight. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Appreciate it.
With that being said, we got 2 more waiting here. So I'm going to pull in the driver of the number 5, Luke Freeman. You got a copy?
What's going on, Jim Bob?
Oh, not a lot. Just up here. What better way to kick in the weekend before having to go to work, huh?
I was about to say, man, you must have had an exciting one to watch up there in the booth tonight.
It was awesome. It was fun to watch. We saw you up front a couple of times throughout the night, but really, you and you and James getting caught off sequence, and ultimately, was there anything you could have done at the end to try to help your finishing result tonight, or was it pretty much just over? I believe Kevin just said he got involved in one of the wrecks in the overtime.
Yeah, I mean, it was the last green-white checkered out there. We were going through the backstretch. It was looking great. We had the whole team lined up on the inside line. It was looking like we were going to have a good shot there near the end, and it was just a terrible domino effect from behind me, and I was the last car that got hooked there at the end and just made it out of that top 5, top 6 area, and it was looking great up there till the last lap, but definitely a heartbreaking finish, but definitely good effort out there from all the fellas out there tonight.
Yes, sir, buddy. I mean, it seemed like, once we got through, I heard a few drivers say I interviewed. I can't remember who I interviewed at the top of the broadcast during one of them early cautions, but it would appear netcode was a bit of an issue tonight, and then obviously the pit roads. They always seem to play a factor during green flag pit stops. Just pretty much, what was your take on how the intensity was a little elevated tonight, especially early in the race, going 3 wide and whatnot? What was your viewpoint on to why drivers would feel like they have that sense of urgency to try to get to the front early?
I mean, shoot, we saw it down there near the pretty much about every incident that at least I was seeing. It kind of seemed like it was more near that back half of the field, at least I think apart from one, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, I think they were probably trying to get up around there to avoid it.
So pretty much what you're saying is, it's more for the drivers in the back, and to validate your point, interviewed Justin Johnson after he got took out in his third wreck of the night, none of which was his doing in neither account, but every time Justin being a wreck, he was out there back in the back half of the field. So do you feel like drivers are more or less worried about trying to get to the front to avoid a wreck, or do you think that they're trying to play it safe? How do you balance between trying to get from the back to the front or just riding in the back to avoid the incidents like we saw tonight?
I mean, it's tough to say. It's more all about just picking your opportunities. I mean, you get gridlocked on that inside line too long, and it can really strand you back there. But you make that move too early on the outside line, and you can get caught up in something. So I mean, it's like I said, really all about just picking your opportunities, in my opinion.
Yes, sir, and I can understand that from both perspectives. Of course, really nobody. The only super speedway I really have outside of leagues is Draft Masters, and nobody thinks in Draft Masters, obviously.
Hey, likewise, buddy. It's a tough world out there, but hey, almost out of there. Almost out of D class. We're almost out.
Well, God bless you. You keep up the good work. Typically what I do at the end of these broadcasts is some of these guys, they have people to actually sponsor them and whatnot. So I give everybody a chance. If there's anybody you want to thank, friends, family, sponsors, etc., the floor is yours to shut them out.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, I want to say a big thanks to my team for coming out here, Kevin Tipton and Michael Carroll. One of our first races out here we ran as a team, and I think we at least had a pretty good run there up until the end. Big thanks to Jimmy for putting it on as always, and all the guys behind everything that make it possible. And of course, big thanks to you for putting it on, man. It was a great broadcast for you.
Ain't no problem, buddy. Ain't no problem. We look forward to seeing you in the future. Hopefully make some more starts here on the network.
Hey, man, I hope to be talking to you again, that's for sure.
I hope so, too, but better than the results tonight. Luke Freeman will finish 13th. Appreciate your time, buddy.
You too, Jimmy. Take care.
Yep. I got one more driver to talk to. Michael, you got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, buddy, because I'm pretty sure I've been, and I apologize if I have, but I'm pretty sure I've been pronouncing the last name wrong. Names are not my strong suit. So how do you pronounce it real quick?
Carroll.
Carroll? I thought
yes,
so, and I thought that's what it was, and I said everything but.
It's all right. I've done heard everything.
Well, Michael Carroll, not the result you wanted tonight with a 12th place finish here. Was there anything you felt like at any point in the race that could have changed the outcome? Because you were up there. It was an up and down night from what I saw.
Nah, just the 2 wrecks at the end would have changed the outcome for sure. I felt pretty good all day. I had good green flag pit stops except for one. I think there's a lap car coming in with a group of us, and kind of just wiggled around coming into pit road, and I got bumped and threw off my game, and I slid my pit box. But other than that, I felt great all day. And then there's a first green white checkered, and just trying to avoid the wreck in front of me, and just got turned, trying to get down as low as possible, flipping. And then that
Yeah,
last
we saw
one,
that.
yeah, no, I went flipping both times, but
Great time had the
yeah,
Air Force on board with that, then, ain't it?
yep, kind of foreshadowed it, I guess, but no, yeah, just the two wrecks at the end probably would have helped change the outcome. I know I think I was behind Luke there in the 5, and we were working our way up on that bottom line. If we didn't get wrecked there, probably would have been around that top 5 area for sure.
Yeah, we saw that throughout the night. And honestly, is that a given? Is a green white checker? Now we rarely, well, I say rarely. It's a bit strong of me to say, but usually we don't see a green white checker. I think we had 2 last week, and I streamed like 5 races last week with the HGR group, and so I mean, yes, you can expect an overtime, but it's not really a common thing to a degree. And do you think that adds a sense of urgency for the guys who are in the back? Like, they've done everything they can, but now, like, here we are, it's time to go. What is your perspective on that, or what's your assessment, and what's your mindset for an overtime finish?
For an overtime, like, I have a sense of urgency, but if I feel like I'm stuck somewhere, I'm not gonna force the issue or anything like that. At some tracks, like especially super speedways, you got to realize when like nothing's gonna work for you. You got to do what you can with what you got. And I was just happy to be sitting there right behind Luke and see where I could finish. If I got the top 5, great. If I didn't, it is what it is. I didn't have the track position and didn't have the area I wanted to be in, but definitely for overtime finishes, I feel like anybody who feels like they have room, or just the last couple laps, like this is for all the marbles. I feel like people definitely get a sense of urgency out there and tend to make moves that probably shouldn't happen, and that's just a part of racing, in my opinion. So, yeah, just kind of do what you can with what you got is my opinion.
I understand that completely. I believe this is the first time I've ever interviewed you. It's been a first of many guys to interview this tonight. But what I like to do is some of these drivers that run these, they have actual sponsors that actually sponsor them. My job sponsors me whenever I run. So with that being said, I give everybody the floor to thank friends, family, sponsors, God himself if they want to. There ain't nothing wrong with doing that. But just anybody you want to thank in general, the floor is yours, buddy.
All right. Yeah, I'd like to thank Ninth Gear for wanting to pay my entry today to go race, see what we can do. Thanks for sponsoring the truck I was running. Leverage Motorsports for the main group of guys that I run with, practicing and just cutting up, having a good time. And thanking my girlfriend for letting me to race as much as I wanted to. So that's all I got.
All right, buddy. Well, I know the result's not what you wanted tonight, especially with a strong run early in the race. And look forward to seeing you more on the broadcasts, hopefully, and hopefully we can talk to you one night, taking home some money and probably taking her out to a nice steak dinner.
Right. Well, I appreciate it. I'll try to be here more often. Try to be in here in 5th place or higher, so that'd be a great time.
Yes, sir, buddy. But until that time, Michael Carroll will have to settle for 12th tonight. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. With that being said, we're going to run through the final results, unofficial at the moment. But for right now, McCullough Motorsports, Casey Sprinkles takes home the win tonight. John Ward second. Danny Burns third after what's been an emotional time. I'm glad to see him able to come out on top. Aubrey Thompson in fourth. Joey Allen in fifth. A great run for Ambrose Kniebel. In 6th, Joshua McCullough able to fight back to a top 10 finish after a wreck in overtime. James Ware in 8th, Richard Elliott 9th, Michael Wingo rounds out the top 10. Jackson Byes had a up and down night, able to salvage 11th. Michael Carroll 12th. Luke Freeman in 13th. Garrett Caswell 14th. Larry McDonald, after bringing out the caution to set up the overtime, has to settle for 15th. Steve Sizemore will not start off the week how he wanted to. Comes home in 16th. Kevin Tippin 17th. Sean Corbin, after a great week along with Sizemore, will have to settle for 18th, 2 laps down after a very frustrating night, to say the least. We'll go on down to the bottom 3. William H. Scott Jr. never really had a chance tonight to show what he had. Will finish 2 laps down. Justin Johnson involved in 3 wrecks and able to, well, we'll have to settle for 20th, really, after not having a night he wanted. Very frustrated. And then Scott McLean, after 2 black flags on pit road, and calls it quits. And he will finish in the 21st position. And, of course, I don't count. With that being said, everybody, again, big week. Nothing but super speedway action planned for the rest of the week. Tomorrow night, the Inspired Racing League, their regular season finale, where 5 drivers look to try to make it into the playoffs. Only 2 will fill up the top 8. And then on throughout the night, HGR is planned. And then, obviously, the deal undetermined at the moment, but the Midnight Racing League is in the talks for my network to broadcast them on Friday nights, but we will see. And, of course, then the Inspired Racing League ARCA Series, their regular season finale at Super Speedway Atlanta, where A.J. Thompson looks to try to knock Shane Harr. A lot of y'all know Shane Harr from Midnight and has raced in HGR a couple of times, knowing real well from Inspired. A.J. Thompson tried to knock him out of that 8th spot. So again, nothing but super speedway action for the most part this week. Look forward to covering all the action. Until that time, I will see each and every one of you tomorrow night. And to the 23 viewers who watched tonight and the 6 still watching, I thank each and every one of you. And I will see you guys later. Have a good week.